Hi everyone, my name is Olubukola and today I am going to be attempting to make some naan bread with very simple ingredients. I'm going to be using some Indian homemade plain yogurt, some flour, salt, sugar, and yeast. And I have some warm water in my kettle. So this is my first time ever trying to make naan bread. So stick around and follow me as I discover how to make naan bread. So I'm going to be using a recipe that I found online, and the recipe is instructing us to start with the yeast. So we need 2 1/4 spoon of teaspoon two or four. So 2 1/4, and we also need 1 teaspoon of sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sugar first. My sugar and two teaspoons, 2 1/4. So that's my 2, and that is my 1/4 of dry active yeast. So it asked me to get, I'm supposed to have half cup of warm water. So my water is actually hot, so I'm going to get some room temp to make it warm. So, oh, I'm missing oil. It's asking for 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and I don't, or ghee. This is a good reason to read your recipe thoroughly before you gather your ingredients. Melted butter, and I'm just going to 3 tablespoons. And I'm going to melt my butter in. My butter is melting, and I am going to add the sugar, warm water, and yeast together and stir to combine well. The yeast to activate. So I'm using a little wire whip to mix my sugar and yeast solution together, and I am going to put my yeast away for 10 minutes. So I'll be back in 10 minutes when my yeast is ready. Alright, so while our yeast is proofing, I am going to go ahead and get the other things ready. So I am supposed to measure out 2 1/4 cup of flour. So I have my 1 cup here. It says to do it on a flat surface, but I don't want to make a mess because I don't want to have too much cleanup to do. So I'm just going to mix it in the bowl instead. And my 1/4 cup goes here. Alright, so my flour is taken care of. I'm going to put my other dry ingredients as well, in the hopes that my yeast would be ready soon. So I'm going to go ahead and put my salt. It's asking me to put 1 tablespoon of salt. No, not 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon. And I am just going to go ahead and give that a good mix there. So using the cup, I am going to create a well in my ingredients. And then I am supposed to put in my oil, knead the dough, put in my oil and my yogurt. But it doesn't tell me how much oil is. Okay, it says 1 tablespoon of oil. 1 tablespoon of oil. We can definitely do 1 tablespoon of oil. One tablespoon of oil. 1 tablespoon of oil. 1 tablespoon of oil. And we have our 1 tablespoon. And we are supposed to put in our yogurt. Alright, typically, I shouldn't even do, I'm just going to wipe it. I shouldn't have done that. But I'm going to wipe it clean because I don't want cross-contamination. And then I need half a cup of yogurt. I'm going to mix my yogurt so that I get all of the essence with it. A good stir, and I'm going to measure using my scoopable spatula. I also mix my yogurt because sometimes yogurt gets a little bit lumpy. Alright, so I'm going to put away the things that I no longer need. Have a clear working area. So I'm going to put away my salt. I'm going to put away the sugar. Enjoy, or I appreciate having a clean workspace because then I would have enough room to do whatever I need to do. So I'm just waiting on my yeast to proof. Let's see. Alright. It says yeast activated when it's a little bit foamy, but I want it to, it's already foamy, but I want it to be a little bit more foamy. Yeah. It's been about 10 minutes and I have poured in the yeast into the mixture, and as you can see, I have on my gloves. Because I don't want it to get under my nails, so I am going to be kneading, and I'm going to get rid of the spatula in a bit. Let me know in the comment section if you prefer to wash your hands and do what you need to do, or if you prefer to wash your hands and wear a glove. There are some things that I prefer using my hands, washed hands for. Please, 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 when you're making food, you always want to start off with clean hands. You always want to start off with clean hands, making sure that you wash the back and front of your hands, under your fingernails for 20 seconds. I heard that if you don't know how long 20 seconds is, it's the time it takes you to sing the birthday song. Now, depending on what birthday song that you sing, you're singing the generic birthday song, then I think that's it. But I don't know how long that Stevie Wonder's Happy Birthday to You song is. So I'm supposed to need this for until it's, oh Lord, this is why I don't like wearing gloves when I have to do things like this. And this glove is supposed to be a one size fits all, but this is definitely not fitting my hands. So I'm supposed to knead until it's smooth and shiny. And I was supposed to be doing this on a flat surface. So while I was waiting for my yeast, I kept saying for my yeast to prove. You let dough proof, not yeast. While I was waiting for my yeast to become activated, I went ahead and I wiped down my surface, because I will be using this surface, as a matter of fact, to roll out my dough. And as I was prepping for the next step, I realized that I don't have a rolling pin. So if you stick around for a little longer, I will be showing you a trick that you could use if you don't have a rolling pin. I bet you won't even think of what I'm about to use, but I'm going to use it because I have it. You have it at home, I'm sure you do, and it would save you from having to run out to go buy something that you might not need. Sometimes you just have to learn to improvise, and I think that that's one of the things I love about cooking, is you can improvise so much while cooking compared to when you're baking. When you're baking, if it calls for a certain quantity of something, you want to use that quantity that it's called for. Ooh. Alright, so it's asking me to let it proof in a warm place. I'm going to turn on the oven and let the oven warm up. And then I'm going to stick my mixture in there. Alright, I don't think next time I'm not going to use a glove for this. I'm just going to have to wash my hands and clean under my fingers real good. So because this is my first time of making this, I did not make a lot, but I actually want to make a lot because I have all that yogurt and I'm not a big fan of plain yogurt. Even if it's going to plain, it has to be like Greek yogurt, but I want to get rid of that yogurt, and that's the main reason why I decided to make naan bread. And also I eat a lot of naan bread and I buy it from, yes, you know, you probably have guessed, HEB. They have the plain one and the garlic naan, and I like having it at home for breakfast, and it freezes real well. You can always like get it out of your freezer and pour it out in the oven. I like to eat mine with sausages, and if you have like vegetables and you want to make like a quick pan pizza, you can also use naan as your bread base. So I am going to let this proof and I will be back. The dough is proofing in the oven right now, and we have about 3 more minutes before we get it out. So our dough has been proofing for about 10 minutes now, and this is what we have here. And the next step is dividing it up into 8 portions. So I'm just going to cut it up, and before I cut it up, I'm going to sprinkle some flour on my wok surface. Oh, I don't even know if I'm doing this right, but here we go. Well, am I supposed to put oil on my hand? Why? Free. 4. Five. There's no way I'm getting 3 more from this without having to take. Alright, so if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a clean bottle to roll out your dough. So I already rolled out one. So this is how you want your you could roll it out and it could look triangular or a different shape. Typically I like to roll it out thinner than this, but this is good for what I need it for. So you can just do it in whatever shape that works for you or whatever thickness that works for you.